Okay, we're going to start in just a few seconds, guys. So if everyone could quiet down.
I mean, we just
Is that right, Jono? Okay. Yeah, I was just. Okay. Wait, is it recording?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming. This is the 2026 ACPC Introductory Seminar. So the purpose of this talk is just to kind of introduce our club. What is competitive programming? Why we do it, and why we think that you guys should do it, and also just all the events that we're going to run throughout the year. So first of all, what is competitive programming? Why do we do it? What does it consist of? So competitive programming is kind of like an activity where people write code to solve algorithmic and mathematical problems. You can compete both online and in person. All of our events are pretty much all in person, but you can compete on online ones as well. And you can work either in teams or individually, depending on the contest. So the biggest competition is the ICPC, which is the International Collegiate Programming Contest. And we will host the preliminary finals, but if you do well enough, you can go on to the regional finals and even the world finals if you, depending on how you place. Why should you do competitive programming? So we run all these events, but what's in it for you to come to them? So firstly, we think by competing, you'll learn and get better at a lot of programming related skills. So firstly, the problems themselves, the more you do them, the better you'll be at solving them. There's also time management. So all of the contests are under a strict time limit, and we think that allocating the time is an important skill to be able to maximize the solves. Also, a lot of our contests are in teams, so allocating the problems according to your strengths is pretty important, and making sure everyone is being productive and maximizing your solves again. And also, whenever you submit, you might get a wrong answer, and in that case, figuring out what went wrong is pretty tricky, and we think that this is also useful to learn. And the reason a lot of these is useful is because in the job market, lots of companies will do these technical interviews to figure out if you're good or not. And a lot of the things that they test are things that are related to the things that I've just mentioned. Particularly big tech and trading firms. The skills will really help you in interviews getting better jobs. And also, if you do well enough in ICPC, you can visit Sydney for free. So last year, my team went to the regional finals in Sydney. And if you do well enough in that, you can even go to the world finals. And finally, and most importantly, I think it's pretty fun, and you can make friends and network with like-minded individuals through our events. Yeah, so next I'll hand over to Jono for introducing our club.
Hello, good people. Thank you, Patrick. So you might be wondering, who are the ACPC? Who are the glorious people that join me on stage today? So I'll introduce our president, Maged. He's currently eating, just joking. He's in Sydney completing a TikTok internship. So that's Maged there. Then there's me. I'm Jono. Don't call me Jonathan unless you're angry with me. But yeah, I exist. I just got back from Sydney over the summer. Yeah, that's me. And then I'll hand over to Sean.
Hello, my name is Sean. I'm the treasurer of the club. I know it sounds a bit intimidating with all of these people working at these great companies. I'm currently unemployed, so just know you're not alone with that, okay? I'm here with you.
My name is Brooke. I'm the secretary. I finished a summer internship over at BAE Systems. Hopefully not unemployed eventually, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'm Patrick, as I already I was already talking, but I'm the competitions director. So that means I'm very involved in kind of writing problems and making all of our contests happen.
Cool, thanks guys. So what are the club's values? What do we stand for? So first and foremost, we really want to foster a passion for competitive programming, particularly in Adelaide. Promote teamwork and problem solving, which Patrick mentioned earlier. And then encourage learning at all skill levels. So we'll go into this deeper on later in the presentation, but we cater to all skill levels. So you don't have to be good, you can be really bad or just a beginner, and we cater up to highly advanced people. And then creating a friendly and inclusive community. This club has made a massive difference for my social life in particular at university. And I hope that we can carry that forward to all of you as well. So what do? We do lots of things. So we do contests, workshops, and gatherings. So contests are like where you bring your skills to the test, get to compete against other people. Patrick will explain later about some detail about our contests. But yeah, these have prizes, catering, and that sort of thing. Next up, we have workshops. These are for honing your skills, learning new things, learning lots about DSA. Thanks, Sean. Learning about DSA. Zach Anderson did a great set as well, which are currently available on our YouTube channel if you want to get started early, if you're real keen. And then we also run some social gatherings just so you can meet new people, foster that community, that sort of thing. Then this year, quickly just to acknowledge our sponsors. So before I get into the sponsors part, we're sponsored by a few quant firms. Some of you might not know what that is. So what is a quant firm? So quantitative trading, so quant is short for quantitative. They use technology to trade in all sorts of financial markets across the world. So they use advanced statistical modeling, DSA, AI, and more. They're quite fun places to work. They solve very difficult, interesting problems. They try and hire very smart people. They pay accordingly. And yeah, they like hire a lot of people from our club. So like having the club on your resume is normally like a pretty good sign. So first up, we have our gold sponsors. We have Jane Street. They're based out of Hong Kong. I think they do internships in Singapore. No? Okay. So if you intern at Jane Street, you'll be working in Hong Kong. Yeah, it's a pretty cool company. They do a lot of functional programming. So they use a language called OCaml. You might see it on a few t-shirts. I see some Jane Street t-shirts in the crowd. But like, yeah, if you like cool languages, Jane Street's pretty cool. They also pay really well. Next up, we have Susquehanna or SIG. Yeah, Susquehanna is too many syllables. So like they're based out of Sydney. They offer software engineering and trading internships. They're good at ASX market making? Yeah. So they're sponsoring ACPL Div A this year. For our silver sponsors, we have Optiva. Optiva does lots of options trading. Then we have IMC. Yeah, IMC. IMC is really good at like high frequency execution. Like being the quickest is like IMC's thing, and maybe quantitative stuff. You should chat with Zach if you're interested in IMC. And then for bronze, we have SitSec. They exist. They're really cool. And then we have HRT. So HRT is like really good at modeling and AI. They have very advanced models. And they're based out of Singapore. Oh, sorry, all the firms except HRT and Jane Street are Sydney. And then HRT is Singapore, and then Jane Street is Hong Kong. And yeah, they're like really good at it as well. I think they have the highest P&L of most of the quant firms. And then in bronze sponsorship, we have Atlassian. So if any of you work, you might have used Jira or Confluence. Sorry if I brought up some memories, but yeah, like if you worked at Atlassian, you'd be looking at software engineering. Yeah, so that's Atlassian. And they're also based out of Sydney.
Oh, okay, now you know what our club does and who we're sponsored by, who we connect with. But the most important thing for you to know is what events we run and what you can get out of our club here. So here is a timeline graphic of all the events we're running for the semester. This is just to show you for now. I'm going to go through the type of events we have, and then I'll go through all the dates at the very end. So coming up soon, next week on Tuesday, is Industry Night. We are partnered with the Computer Science Club, AUMS, and Squad. And you can also see the different types of companies that are coming here. So a really good thing about Industry Night is you can talk to company representatives and you can ask them like, hey, I want to apply for this company. What skills do I need? What do I need to show you? And you can kind of get an idea about what working for these places would be. So I would really recommend going here. I believe the tickets are $30. You can scan the QR code. And it's just a great idea to get some ideas on how the tech market works. We also run a couple industry workshops. So after Industry Night on the 11th and 12th of March, we're doing a couple workshops with different companies that we sponsor. So for example, we're doing a volatility lab with Optiva, a C++ workshop with Citadel Securities, and a brain teaser battle with Susquehanna. So these are also places where you can come network with representatives and people who work at these firms, and also just have some fun, engaging activities, and just meet new people. And we also have our external competitions that we run called the ICPC, which is the International Collegiate Programming Competition, and the SPA rounds, which are like training rounds held in Australia and New Zealand. So the main goal of the club, like Patrick mentioned before, where he went to Sydney, is to compete in ICPC at the preliminary level, go to the national level, and then hopefully in the future compete in the world finals. So this is basically the prime programming event we're training for, and just a really good experience, very competitive, but also there's beginners and advanced divisions. So if you're not as experienced, you can still try out in the beginners divisions. So just going through our timeline, we obviously start off with the semester now into next week where we have industry night and we also have our industry workshops. Then we head into our ACPL rounds, and we'll go more into ACPL later in the presentation. But for each round, we also have a workshop for both divisions that we run. The workshops being held on Tuesday and Thursday for Div B and Div A, and all the competitions being held on Saturday. You can also see a couple SPA rounds. So those SPA sprints are held on Wednesday. They're about 2 hours. They're a bit of shorter programming competitions, with the full SPAs being held on Saturdays too, and being a bit more of a longer programming competition, which you can try out. You can see the ACPC X Women in STEMs competition too, which is a gender diverse competition we're hosting to try and get more people from a more diverse background into the community. And as final, you can see the very last event is All Uni. So that's the programming competition we run with collaboration through multiple clubs across Australia and New Zealand. And Patrick will also get into that later.
Yeah, sure. So that was just a quick overview, but our bread and butter events are really our competitions. And our primary kind of circuit of competitions is the ACPL. That stands for Adelaide University Competitive Programming League. So what is the ACPL? ACPL kind of consists of multiple competitions throughout the year. And these competitions have a cumulative leaderboard over time. So your scores will kind of add up throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, we will have a prize ceremony where we'll present some overall prizes as well as our ACPL trophy over there for the #1 winner. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so our ACPL competitions, every ACPL will host a Division A and a Division B contest. Division A is for experienced coders, so we'll kind of hope for some background either by university courses or in your own time. Division B is really for beginner competitive programmers, so we'll be happy with like first years who have really never programmed much before coming, and we aim to build up your knowledge throughout the year through that. All of our contests and really all of our events in general are free entry and free food. And I think that the ACPL is a really great opportunity to learn and make friends. As I'll go over in a bit, Division A is in teams of 3. Which means that like there's a real collaborative aspect. And yeah, through our divisions, we aim to be accessible to all skill levels. So even if you've never coded before, all the way up to being like a grandmaster, we hope that you'll have some fun at our contests. And this is actually the second year we've run ACPL. So last year, we hope it was pretty successful. And all of our contests exist on our website, acpl.com. So now you can go and look at the contests and see what our problems are like and run virtual competitions. So I already mentioned the divisions, but I'll go into a bit more detail about Division A specifically now. Division A is kind of brought to you by Susquehanna. So our gold sponsor also sponsoring this specific division, and they make it possible to provide our prizes and our food. So we would really like to thank them for helping us with this. The goal of this division is really to challenge and extend your problem-solving skills. So there'll be a real range of problem difficulties, ranging from pretty easy all the way up to like really challenging. And there's some problems that like no one really ever solves. The competition length of this one is 5 hours. So on a Saturday, it'll be the whole day and there'll be around 12 problems for the 5 hours. And we really hope that this one can be teams of 3, just so that it can be more fun bringing your friends into it and collaborating and splitting the work between you. But any team size between 1 and 3 is fine. And like I said, we'll kind of assume some experience. So if you haven't really coded before, it might be difficult. And that's what Division B is for, as I'll get into in a sec. And as there's some prizes in this division, there'll be strict invigilation. So no AI tools, no external resources, no like Stack Overflow, anything like that. And we'll be checking to make sure that people don't cheat. I already mentioned the leaderboard, but we have, I'll go into a bit more depth about the scoring system itself. So the score is the amount of problems that you solve throughout a contest, which means like you submit your code and it passes all the test cases on the website. And to break ties, we have a time penalty score. So this is the sum of all your solve times. Lower times are better. And if you submit a wrong answer, then you'll get a 20-minute penalty. And then these two scores are summed over all the ACPL contests, and your overall score is the best 6 out of 8 competitions. So there are 6 ACPL rounds throughout the year, as you could have seen before on the roadmap. And then this also includes the 1 all-uni round and the 1 ICPC preliminary round. And yeah, just to encourage some hype in the final round, we have double points in that round. So we hope that you guys can all come along. Yeah, so that was kind of like our more experienced league. So we also have a beginners league, and we'd like to thank Jane Street for sponsoring this event, making all the food possible. And this one is, instead of just like challenging people at all levels, this one, we really aim to kind of like build up a comprehensive knowledge of algorithms and data structures throughout the year through our workshop curriculum. The competition length here is 2 hours, 6 problems. So we hope that this is a bit more accessible to new people, because people who competed last year might know, like, if you come to a 5-hour contest and you really only get like 1 solve, that's like pretty frustrating, I think. So that's the aim of this. And the team size is 1 person, so this is individual, except there's no cash prizes. So this means that we can be a bit more loose in terms of collaborating in between teams, and we'll also have members of the committee there to help you. So you should really feel like no pressure, even if you haven't competed or even really programmed much before. Yeah, and per each contest, we'll also host workshops. So last year we had our Division B workshops, as you can see there. They're all on our YouTube, and we've got a playlist. So if you just search up Adelaide Competitive Programming Club, you can see them. But we'll also be presenting them again this year, and hopefully maybe like refining the curriculum a little bit. And this will take you from very basic programming all the way up to like some advanced competitive programming tricks and techniques by the end. Another thing that we're bringing new this year is our advanced Division A workshops. So separately, this will cover like some assortment of advanced topics that people might have struggled with in the past. And we think that really anyone can benefit from coming to these. They'll be on the same week as the other workshop. Yeah, and that might have been a bit too specific, but I kind of like to give an overview, and I'd really like to kind of like encourage that everyone compete in ACPL. Like, I think that it can really open some doors in terms of your career, but also like your social life and your network. And you can see there is a $2,500 overall prize pool to be presented at the end. Not to mention the trophy, and on the screen you can see our triumphant first place last time with the trophy and the medals. Yeah, and we have a sign-up form, so there is a QR code there, but it might be obscured in the top. So if you just join our Discord, then yeah, you'll be able to see the sign-up form and gather your friends. Also in the Discord, there'll be a kind of like looking for team channel. If you're interested in Div A but don't have people who you know to compete with, that's no problem at all. Yeah, and maybe you heard a glimpse of it before from Sean, but another thing that we have is the all-uni programming contest. So ACPL is kind of like our premier, like long-running league, but All Uni is just a single event. It's our largest in scale. And like Sean mentioned, it is a contest that is hosted in parallel all throughout Australia and New Zealand, so 7+ physical sites. Much more competitive, and there are higher prizes than ACPL because of all the collaboration. Last year, there was over 600 participants, and we hope we can grow it even more this year. It's the same format as ACPL, so hopefully this will be familiar to you at that point. And with Division A and B, the only difference is that Division B is a full 5-hour contest with 12 problems this time, with a team of 3. And there's a separate Discord server for All Uni that we'll be announcing as it gets towards the middle of the year. Yeah, and again, like here's some pictures from last year, but I think that the bigger audience of All Uni really kind of like adds to the energy and hype, and I think that it's really fun, especially like for you guys, since that you'll be familiar with ACPL at that point. You'll maybe have an advantage against the other states. Last year, I think the best Adelaide team was like 20th overall or something. So hopefully we can up the competition this year. Yeah, and those were our kind of consistent competitions, but We're also planning some exciting new events this year, so I'd like to hand over to Jono for one of them, our inaugural ACPC camp.
Thank you, Patrick. So you might be wondering, what is camp? What have we planned for this year? So any of Uni of Adelaide people in the crowd, make history top ones. This is the first time we've run this event. So like, yeah, you get to be part of the first cohort to experience it. Lots of games and fun, meet like-minded people and make lifelong memories. So it's 3 days. So what are you going to be doing on the campsite. This is quite a popular spot for like school camps. Raise your hands. Has anyone been to Zintari before? We got a few hands. Thank you, my good people. So Zintari, it's down near Normanville Beach. It's about an hour and like a 20-minute drive south of the city. So it's right, beautiful beaches, what Adelaide's known for, a bit quiet, away from everything. So this is the campsite on screen. So activities, what will we be doing? So obviously we're right next to the beach. We'll take full advantage of that. So like beach cricket, that sort of thing. We've got like an Olympics thing planned where like you'll be able to compete in a team in a couple games. You'll see there we're thinking of doing real life hungry hippos. So like, anyway, things like maybe a poker tournament and then like quiz night. So most importantly, there's no competitive programming on the camp. The camp is purely just like social fun, get to meet new people. I can see someone's disappointed. But like, yeah, it's just a good chance to like get to meet people, get to meet your cohort, particularly for first years, like get to make some lifelong friends for the rest of uni. Yeah, so that's sort of that. It's during the mid-semester break. So it's a Wednesday to a Friday. It'll be during the mid-semester break. So it's the 29th of April to the 1st of May. So like won't be any classes on. And then because the uni kind of messed up with trimesters, you've got a very long mid-semester break. So it won't interact with any of your classes. And then we'll be dropping tickets tonight. So make sure you're in the Discord. The same QR code will be on the end slide. But yeah, make sure to join our Discord. Like all of these links will be posted in there. And you'll always be kept up to date with what we're getting up to. Cool.
Okay, I'm Brooke. Just some closing words. So we are a student-run club. We're always looking for new and talent-driven members if you want to get involved with the ACP subcommittee. Part of those teams include the marketing team, where you'd be in charge of graphic design and social media posting, or you could join the competitions team and be part of problem writing and testing, and you'd be part of the AUCPO workshops, or you could also be a volunteer for our camp, and discounts do apply. Or if you are a first year, how many first years do we have in this room? Oh, you should apply to be our first year representatives. It'd be great for you. And you've been making sure that all of our events and content are accessible for you guys. And here we've got some additional resources as well. We did not invent competitive programming, sadly, but you can and should practice it in your own time. So if you'd like some practice on online competitions, we have our very own aucpl.com. We also have @Coda. Rory knows a lot about that. And then Code Forces as well. You can join our Discord. They do very late night @Coda competitions every day. I don't know. And we also have some online resources as well, which you can see in those links below. They teach you more about data structures, examples of competitive programming problems, etc. And of course, join our Discord with the QR code as well. We have a great community here. We're all supportive and open to learning. And another really important resource is Ravi's study program. If you are interested in further self-learning, you should totally check out RSP. It's a free summer course. It helps students land really impressive tech roles like Google, Amazon, etc. It has a really massive community across Australia, not just Adelaide. And participating in AUCPL does improve your odds of being accepted. So you get a mentor throughout the entire program throughout the summer. You get to learn how to do mock interviews and practice doing regular leak codes. And these will help you for the online assessments for these really tough big tech companies. So, are we?
Yeah, so I guess something that's like quite pervasive and kind of like the comp sci like doomers is like how cooked are we as AI improves? So maybe some of you have seen before that like Claude or ChatGPT can like code every like competitive programming problem like ever and win the world ICPC in like 10 minutes or something. Our previous president, Irhas, is here, and he'd kind of like to say some words about that. Thank you.
Hey, so if you guys have probably seen me for the first time, but I was president of this ACPC last year, and we also had a seminar like this around the same time. And at the end, we brought in the founder of the ACPC, Ragav, who's like at Oxford. No, he's doing his own thing now. But yeah, he was at Oxford. He interned at NVIDIA. Yeah, now he's at Y Combinator. Um, but yeah, he was brought here to basically stall until the pizza arrived, and I'm kind of doing the same thing. But basically. Yeah, there's you got a lot of you guys might be wondering, what's the point of competitive programming when, you got ChatGPT at 2700 ELO on code forces and Claude just, wiping the floor with you guys, right? But it's incredibly important to have these kinds of skills because at the end of the day, AI is not accountable. You can have you can spit garbage and, people just blindly trust it. So you need some kind of skill to be able to guide the AI to do whatever you want to do. And this competitive programming is essential for being able to learn that skill. Myself, I do AI research at AML and specifically in computer vision. So I also wanted to talk. I wanted to basically steal Raghav's slides and tell you that competitive programming, big tech, quant. That's not the only way. There are other pathways and other things you can do with competitive programming and software engineering that don't fit that mold. Specifically, we have great researchers at Adelaide University. We have people from all over, from top tier institutes like Oxford, CMU. I think we even have a person from like EPFL, like EPFL. I don't know if you guys know where that is, but basically, we've got some top talent at Adelaide, and it's just sitting around, and no one's taking advantage of that. So yeah, I mean, I'm running out of things to kind of spitball with here. Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
We got FAQs.
Oh, yeah. All right. We do have an FAQ thing.
Yeah, so we hope that you build up some questions throughout the speech, but hopefully some of the common questions that we've thought of we can address even before that. Yeah, frequently asked questions. The first one, maybe a lot of like first years who are just coming from maybe they weren't sure about what degree they wanted to do and have just like decided to do comp sci like for any reason, but they're not confident in their programming skills and want to get ahead of the curve. They've been hearing about the tough job market, but what should they do? Yeah, Division B, we've kind of like specifically tailored this for this case, beginners. You can also definitely like use your own time to get ahead. Leak code specifically is kind of like what sparks a lot of people's going into competitive programming. People say like do leak codes to prepare for interviews, and there's definitely like some usefulness in that. In the previous slides, there was also like online resources that you could use. We also do workshops throughout the year to level up your skills. Throughout the year, hopefully our curriculum will kind of like build up a comprehensive knowledge of all different things regarding competitive programming. And we think that the skills are definitely handy in job searching, but they might also come in handy in uni assignments. So a lot of people kind of like have done ACPL and then their degree study plan says like do like algorithms course, and they're like, oh well, I already know how to do all this. Maybe that's like not an obvious benefit, but it definitely comes in handy. How can competitive programming help my job prospects? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so big tech firms and quantitative trading firms have online assessments and interviews to test technical programming skills. And typically these will use data structure and algorithms tools, which requires competitive programming skills. It's not just these skills, like there's things like system design and behavioral interviews that they might ask as well. But these problems do require good knowledge of algorithms and data structures, which you'll pick up naturally through competitive programming. And then another thing just to keep in mind as well, just reiterating, RSP is a really good program for getting into these companies. Cool. I've done some programming before. Which division should I register for? So I would go on our website, aucpl.com, and decide from there. So you can see our previous competitions from last year, have a scroll through a few of the questions and figure out from them like, oh, I could solve this, or I should probably go with Division B. Make sure to look at a few problems. Obviously, in the same competition, some problems will be quite hard and some problems will be a bit easier. So make sure to sample a few just so you get an accurate picture.
I have no friends. How can I find team members for ACPL? So, I mean, that first part's definitely going to be very common for some of you guys if you're at the competitive programming clubs seminar. But yeah, if you are looking for friends and if you do want team members, join the Discord. We have a finding team members channel. Attend events and network with potential teammates. And I mean, Jono was saying, you can find lifelong friends for your uni career. But I mean, some of the friends I've made through this club, I'm still friends with to this day, and we've all graduated. I've been around here for a long time. Yeah, way too long. But from what I've observed, most of the people who do go on to become successful have had some kind of interaction with competitive programming and with this club. Who wants to do the next question?
So another question for ACPL. If you registered for a division, but you feel that maybe it's not at your skill level after you attend like the first competition, can you change divisions midway? Yes, if you feel the change will be suitable to your skill level, but you should let a committee member know so we can put you in the proper division. You go next.
Yeah, so that's kind of the end of our presentation proper. We hope that you've kind of been building up your own questions. Maybe some of them have been answered already, but some of them might not have been. So if you're thinking about it, the chances are someone else is. So raising your hand, and very handsome mic runners will bring their mics to you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you're answering a question, like just,
Exactly.
hey, why were you ignoring Zach? Okay, Zach,
This isn't a question, but I just wanted to say with the one on the previous slide, if you're trying out the Div A questions, also make sure to have a look at the number of solves, because I think, like Patrick was saying earlier, some of them are insanely hard, like fast Fourier transform, ridiculous questions that no one got. And it will say 0 solves. And if you can't get that, you shouldn't immediately feel like Div A is too hard. Some of them are quite easy and are designed just to help everyone get started in the competition. So make sure to have a look and try some of the problems that are kind of the median of number of solves as well, not just 1 or 2 like Jono said.
Thanks, Zach. But yeah, we got one at the back. Where was under?
Hi, you mentioned, damn, there's an echo. You mentioned that there were questions on the ACUPL website. Could you give me an example of a couple of questions, like the themes of a questions in Div A?
Yeah, sure. So normally, thanks, Patrick. For each week, we'll pick a theme.
night.
So Division A, like get a Go contest and get like a div. Oh, okay. So this is like the overall problem view. So you can see questions. AC is like what % of submissions got it correct. So like a higher percentage means easier, a lower percentage means harder. All right, they're picking a question for you. All right, cool. So we got one here, crop network. So Farmer Tom maintains an array of crop fields throughout the farming season. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but like basically you get like a little story and it's related to some sort of like technical problem. And then you have to write code to solve it. But like, yeah, we'll leave this on screen. You can have a read. Oh yeah, you can see the stats as well. Lots of data. Oh yeah, we'll get a div B as well. Okay. Yeah, here's a div A question. Okay, you were in your OOP lecture when you realized that you were bored and start playing Agario. But like, yes, it's all scenarios and whatnot. Cool. All right. Do we have another question?
What languages are we allowed to use in the competition?
Yeah, so it's just C++, Java, and Python. You get all of the STL for C++. Yeah, it's C. What's the version? 21? It's 20. C++ 20, and then just Python 3, and then Java. Another one. Oh, down here.
Yeah. You mentioned that there were tie breaks based on speed of solve. Wouldn't that mean that Python has a disadvantage?
It's in when you submit in the competition. So it's not like how long your solution takes. It's like you submitted half an hour in, other teams submitted an hour and a half in. That's yeah.
Right, makes sense.
Is there anything against going to like compete in Division A and then also going to Division B just for like the more fun and like making friend aspect?
In last year, we usually actually like hosted Div B like at the same time as Div A, so like it might be difficult, but yeah, you can definitely like follow the workshops and stuff. Like they won't be at the same time, and I think going to both of them would be useful for a lot of people.
I mean, in the past competitions, the Div B people do go over to the Div A location as well. So they're, yeah, because it's much shorter. So there is a lot of opportunity for like, interactions, that kind of thing. I mean, were you looking for Div B or Div A specifically, would you say?
Not sure at the moment.
Are you first year?
Second?
Second, okay. I mean, regardless of what year you're in, I mean, the uni does teach DSA pretty late into the degrees. But yeah, if you were looking for Div B, yeah, you have a lot of time to go over to the Div A people and learn from them afterwards. No worries. At the back? Okay, there's someone. Oh, the green guy. Okay.
Wait, can we import scikit-learn in Python?
No, only only the standard library, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would trivialize a lot of things.
Wait, what about sorted containers?
No, unfortunately not. We wish we could. I mean, actually, doesn't ICPC allow sort?
Yeah, we kind of acknowledge that C++ standard library has things that Python doesn't. So like technically, like some problems might be like impossible in Python, but well, we can like look into like including that like third-party library, but like currently you cannot use those, and you can code up your own like self-balancing tree, and like that'll be fine if you want. But you should just like probably if you're getting to the point where you're like bottlenecked by those problems, you can like just learn C++ anyway. It might be useful. Right.
There's another question. Is that it? I got my
Yeah, so what if I'm like close to graduating? Is it too late to start?
I would think that like the competitions kind of like benefit anyone. So like no matter what like point in your university like career you are, like I think it'll still be useful. Yeah, definitely. Like I think Earhus was like competing in things even after he graduated. Yeah, there's definitely like no limitations regarding that. Like anyone can join.
All right, thank you.
Rory said it's not here. Rory hasn't responded. Apparently it's here, but they're bringing software surfers. Yeah, food is a couple minutes away, so like if anyone has any other questions, like feel free to ask them.
I mean, if you guys are a bit shy and want to ask them individually, we'll be around. So yeah, you can just come up to the front later. Yeah, and then I'll just scan these QR codes. Hopefully.
This might be a stupid question.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the mascot being a chicken?
What? Oh, Tom, right.
It's not a chicken though.
Tom would be very, so
It's a cockatiel, sorry.
so that mascot is for a person, not exactly the club, but if that person heard you call it a chicken, you might be a bit offended. It's a cockatiel.
Shit, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay. He's a chill guy. Yeah, he's a problem setter, so he might put your name in like a problem or something for saying that. But like, yeah, I think it's more just
Like because like for the contest, like there's usually like a graphic and like he draws it, so he just like adds his own mask like avatar into the picture. Yeah, that's usually like where it comes from.
I see.
yeah. So it's just that guy's mascot basically, and we just happen to use it a lot in our problems. Yeah, he just happens to write every single problem of ours basically. Most of them. Yeah. Now Patrick does a lot of problem solving as well.
Actually. Yeah, can I import them?
My pants, I got them from Korea actually. So there's an online shop called Musinsa, Ball Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but be careful because like it might not fit you when it arrives. I went there a long time ago. I got it, I checked that it fit and then just ordered it later.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I guess everyone, seems like there's no more questions. If you have more questions, feel free to come up to the front, but we're happy to say like pizza's here. Everyone kind of like make your way orderly out and 2 slices per person. Yeah. Just kind of like form a line and like go around, and then maybe once you have it, just like you can come back in here. 2 slices each at first.